Rublev makes the most incredible Mars Yellow oil paint, which is a fast-drying and opaque synthetic yellow iron oxide with excellent light fastness. Because this paint is so rich, I'm going to tint it with a little titanium white first and then mix it up with 6 different blues so you can see all of the green variations that are created. These are the blues that we'll be using. You can see quite a bit of variation here. For example, the middle row is Ultramarine Blue, and it's almost verging on purple when tinted, so it's cooler. And then second row from the bottom is a green shade of Phthalo Blue, and you can see it's much warmer. So these variations of cool and warm blues will interact with the Mars Yellow differently. We'll start out with Prussian Blue. Prussian Blue uses the pigment PB27. It's on the darker side, some would call it navy. I've always felt like it has a vintage feel to it. When it mixes with Mars Yellow, you can see that it's producing cooler greens. Towards the middle, you're getting sort of sagey colors, and even a jade color towards the right side. The next blue that will blend with Mars Yellow is Phthalo Blue Lake from Michael Harding, which uses the pigment PB15:3. This is the green shade, so it's the warmest phthalo blue. By the way, I will put a link to a PDF containing all of these color charts in this video's description. Alright, so confession time. Phthalo Blue Lake, this particular shade of phthalo blue is my absolute favorite blue. It's just so vibrant, and I think it blends with so many other colors so beautifully. And Mars Yellow is no exception. Actually, as we get further across the way into these wonderfully rich, saturated teals that it's producing, I can't help but think of the Southwest and all of the wonderful desert plants like cacti, agave, aloe that thrive there. The next blue that we're going to blend with Mars Yellow is Ultramarine Blue. And this, if you remember from the blue color chart, is the purplest, coolest blue in that chart. And when you mix it with Mars Yellow, it's almost like blending complementary colors. So they neutralize each other and you're getting grayer greens. And these can still be very useful, especially in shadows. Here are those 3 color charts that we just made. We've got Prussian Blue on the left, Phthalo Blue in the middle, and Ultramarine Blue on the right. The next blue that we're blending is Cobalt Blue, which uses the pigment PB28. Like Ultramarine Blue, Cobalt Blue is on the cooler side, so we're going to get more muted greens when we blend it with Mars Yellow. Cobalt Blue is typically more expensive than the other blues, but it's one of the most permanent and light-fast blues available, and it also remains fairly vibrant when you tint it. The next blue that we're blending is Cerillion Blue, and I'm using Winsor & Newton's Cerillion Blue, which I really like because it uses the classic PB35 pigment. Most paints that you see called Cerillion Blue use the pigment PB36, which is really cobalt chromite, which in my opinion is a little darker and not quite as vibrant as the PB35 blue. Anyways, you can see here that it's a lighter sky blue that's really lovely when it's tinted. And when you blend it with Mars Yellow, you're getting these really subtle yet vivid shades of green. Cerillion Blue is also on the pricier side like Cobalt Blue, but it's also highly light fast and permanent like Cobalt Blue as well. The next blue and last blue that we're blending is Cobalt Teal from Michael Harding. This is, like its name, more of a teal color, but I still put it in the blue family. This paint uses the pigment PG50, but you'll also see it made by other manufacturers with PB28, or a green variation of Cobalt Blue. Both Mars Yellow and Cobalt Teal are opaque with high tinting strength, so you're getting very saturated greens. If you're painting tropical waters or plants, this would be a superb blend to incorporate into your paintings. And here's a color chart of the last 3 blues that we blended. We've got Cobalt Blue on the left, Cerillion Blue in the middle, and Cobalt Teal on the right. Again, if you'd like a copy of these color charts, I've added a link to them in this video's description. Please give this video a like if you found it helpful, and feel free to ask any questions.